That is incredible. This is the really sharp stuff where the rattlesnakes will be. Did you know that molten rock is called magma? Just got hit by another tumbleweed. Yeah! I've been shot. It happened. Let's do this so he can't see us laughing and then he'll watch it back later.
Okay, day 9, and we are in Albuquerque at the moment, and we are going to be traveling to Chambers, Arizona, so a new state. We've got one planned stop this morning, however, the rest of it we're just going to kind of make up. And luckily my cold has shifted to my chest, so I don't have to wear my tissues up my nose today, and let's hope for a good day.
We've just stopped at a rest stop, which we've been surprised on this trip. So there are a lot of rest stops along here, because typically Route 66 runs along the highway, the new highway, and so they always kind of connect in certain places. So there is a lot of rest stops, gas stations. So far, I will say, so far I think they get a little bit more sparse as we go on, but we're just leaving Albuquerque, New Mexico, heading into Arizona. And we've seen plenty of things here. The other thing that I didn't expect is, although it's all desert, we have some crows behind us. Not Natalie just screaming at me. There's some crows up here.
Sounds like you.
Up here. There's the crows. There's Natalie.
I messed up. That's so funny. Sounds like you.
Anyway, so the other thing I was going to say is that even though it looks like desert and it's absolutely desolate, we're really high up, so we're at like 6,500 feet right now, which makes me wonder how people get water, because they do live out here. But 6,500 feet, and it's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, obviously, which is what, 21 Celsius, something like that. So yeah, you don't need to worry about that. We are wearing sunscreen though, because the sun is beating down, but in the shade it is really, really nice. It's perfect. So yeah, anyway, we're heading off. We are about 40 miles from our destination, so check this out. If you could see that on camera, but we had to slow down to let that massive tornado go past. It wasn't, it's a little dust devil, but yeah, anyway, it went straight across. Luckily we slowed down because it came straight across the road. We thought it dispersed and then it just kind of picked up. There's another one, I see another one over there as well. So yeah, very cool. I'm glad we're alive. John just got hit by another tumbleweed, and it's very windy here to the point where there is a huge sandstorm. It happened. Hold on. So do you want me to lift and you come here? You come here. Alright, you ready? Oh man, this is heavy. Ready?
Want me to help? I can just set the camera up over here.
Ready?
Was it at least a soft landing?
So.
Okay. What's in your pocket?
Huh?
What's in your
Wallet.
pocket?
Wallet.
Oh, okay.
But our first stop.
There. I'll be hard pushed to get it back down there.
Fuck yeah.
To be fair, at least it was on nice soft sand and not on concrete.
Well, maybe if they're going to do an ice road thing, they say an ice cover, and they say, by the way, the approach is on sand.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do now because we're halfway up here.
We're not. It's half a mile up. It's another half mile along this.
I guess we're not seeing the ice caves today.
We just drove 25 miles to get here.
It's a nice view.
We can try, but
I'll walk alongside you guys, I think.
I'm doing it at a walking pace.
We'd have to.
You're such a dick.
The funny thing was, this is where I went over it. I don't know if you got it on camera. This is where I went over and I'm like, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall. And the guy was walking beside us and he could hear me saying, I'm going to fall. And then
John went, I'm down.
I'm down! I've been shot! He's not laughing. He's not laughing yet. We'll joke about it later. We'll play this back to him later. Just do this so he can't see us laughing and then he'll watch it back later.
Now I'm up in front to scout the hard bits of land so they don't go in the sand. So dumb. This is all hard. Yeah, but this is soft. It's hard, yeah.
Well, it happened. I actually fell off my bike, and I have to say, Lawrence and Nat were really, really sympathetic about it, and just laughed continuously, and eventually came back and helped me pick the bike up.
It was the, I'm going down! Ah! It was that bit.
It wasn't like that. It was like, I'm down, that's all it was.
What happened, Lawrence?
So we're walking to the volcano and it felt like something was like jabbing me in the heel and I found a big hole in my cheapo shoes and there's a massive flint in there. Look at that. Look at that.
Ouch.
Digging right in my foot. I think this is a dinosaur tooth.
Yes.
Let's say it is.
Let's
Just
say
off
it
the top
is.
of your head. Just off the top of my head. Okay, quick warning. We're at like 7,000 feet here. I'm incredibly unfit, but Natalie is very fit and she's struggling. So there are benches along the route, but you do have to walk up here. You can't drive. So if you're struggling with breathing or you're old, then you're not going to make it here. But this point right here, there are actually, just off the top of my head, there's about 29 volcanoes here. I'm guessing they're all connected at some point underground, but there's 29 volcanoes and you can see them all scattered behind me. From this point you can actually see, the wind caught my breath, you can actually see 15 of them here. And just off the top of my head, I think they're, you know, the closest ones from here are probably, you know, Arizona, Comrade, Americana, Rendaya, and a few others. Just from what I can remember off the top of my head. So yeah, anyway, this is the Malpais region and there are 29 volcanoes here. We're walking up to one of them if we make it. So this behind me is Bandera. It is the largest volcano in this region and it erupted 10,000 years ago. It was actually a lot taller and a lot wider, and you can tell first of all the crater created, so it dropped down, then the lava all spewed up and it would come all the way up, it would, you know, create all of this and then it would flow all the way down here, and it actually went 22 miles. The lava flow from here went 22 miles. But yeah, this is about, I think this is about 8,000, hold on, just off the top of my head. So this is actually 800 feet deep and the elevation here is 8,367 at the top up here, and it is 1,400 feet wide. I did say on the way up here that I'd love to just like slide down there, but actually I think it's a lot steeper than it looks, and you'd probably crack your head at the bottom as well. So we're not going to do that, but there is a cool lookout here. So there's another thing that we want to go and see here. We're going to swing around to the right here, which is the reason why these two have brought their jackets and I didn't, and I'm smarter than them. Maybe not. All right, down here behind me is where the lava would flow out, and apparently the more violent it was, the sharper the rocks it creates. Hopefully you can hear me. It's so windy coming through this valley. And so apparently this is the perfect condition for rattlesnakes. So they don't have the predators, because the predators won't walk over the hard, sharp rocks. So we're not going down here, but if you wanted to go see some rattlesnakes, there's definitely going to be a bunch down here. So this is the really sharp stuff where the rattlesnakes will be, and it's formed when actually the lava continues to flow underneath it, and the top of it hardens first. So it creates like real jaggy, nasty lava or rock. And so this would have all formed, and then the lava flow would have continued underneath for 22 miles. It's crazy. Home Depot sell this stuff for like $6 a bag. You could just come here and take it. I mean, you couldn't, it's private land. This isn't even a government land, but you know, this is exactly the same stuff you'll find in Home Depot, lava rock. Did you know that molten rock is called magma?
Magma.
Magma.
That was terrible, Natalie. That's an Austin Powers reference, if you haven't seen that movie.
I'm still gonna melt every city on the planet with liquid hot magma.
Magma. Magma. All right, there's some really weird trees here, and I was hoping we could figure out what it was. So, just off the top of my head, definitely not from this leaflet that you get from the visitor centre, because the roots are so hard, because the trees can't actually dig the roots into the lava, they still try and grow, and this causes them to grow twisted, which is really weird. But you'll find a lot of those fall over just because they don't have the root system to be able to protect them from strong winds, and there is strong winds here, trust me. And so yeah, so you'll see a lot of them that are just fallen over. But let me see if I can try and find some twisted trees for you. All right, I said the lava was called a lava. It's not, it's called a lava, and it was actually named in Hawaii because that's the name that you sound when you walk over it with bare feet. That's not even a Lawrence joke, that's true. That is real life fact. All right, and the soft, like smooth lava that looks like, you know, plates on top of each other is called clinker lava, off the top of my head. Not reading it off here. Clinker lava is the lava type seen here that looks like plates stacked upon one another. Clinker lava. I didn't know that.
Got $1.
You just found $1?
Yeah, in the middle of
in the middle of a volcano.
Yeah. So it only costs $35 now.
For 3?
Yes.
Okay, I mentioned earlier that on the surface the lava hardens, and then the rest of it continues to go underground, basically like an underground, you know, lava tube is what it's called. This is one that has collapsed. So all of this would have hardened first, and then the lava would have continued to keep running underneath this. So it's basically just a lava tube sinkhole. Bear in mind we're in New Mexico right now, and behind me is a big floor of ice. Now this is 3,400 years old, and it is 20 feet deep. And basically what happens is the rainwater and snow melt will fall down into here and hit this ice, and basically it will keep rising. A few years ago they actually stopped, well, I say a few years ago, in the 1940s, they actually stopped people from mining the ice here because they were mining it, but it keeps reforming. So since then it's come up a few feet. The back wall here that was actually formed by the ancient Indians. They would mine the ice as well, so they would just chip away at the wall at the back and take away all the ice. Now, we are in May right now, and we're in the middle of New Mexico, and it's about 80 degrees up there. And as you come down these steps, it gets cooler and cooler and cooler, and it is a constant 31 degrees Fahrenheit here, which is what, 0 degrees, -1 Celsius, and this is just a floor of ice. I didn't even know this existed. This is fascinating. John says it's so cold down here he needs to pee. It's weird though, because you know, we had geothermal at the farm, and it was a constant 56 degrees when you dig down 6 feet. And I think that's anywhere. So the earth is 56 degrees. So like in the winter, that, you know, is fine because we had electric heating to then, you know, bring that up. And in the summer, 56 was great. And then you can use anything else if you wanted it lower than that. So that's cool. But here, I imagine it is 56. The only thing keeping it cooler is this ice, which I can't even see it melting. So it's just literally because there is 20 feet of ice here. Then it's crazy. And then as soon as it rains, the rain comes in. Perpetuation of ice due to lava insulation and the shape of the cave which traps frigid air. Okay, I didn't know about the shape of the cave. That's interesting. So it traps the air. So above, it is actually a cave. Then you have to go up these steps. Awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome. I will warn you though, there is a lot of steep steps here. So if you are mobility challenged, there's no way you're getting down here. So just bear that in mind. You can take it slow. There's handrails. They are steep, they're pretty steep steps. We've just got to our hotel here. It's the Days Inn. It's actually very nice, quite like it, but I thought I'd go over the bike, one of them because we had to check over John's bike to make sure everything was okay, and we confirm everything is fine. It basically fell on, the problem was the road was quite a sandy road. It was like crushed volcanic rock that they had used for the road, and in some patches it was just real sandy. So I think because I had the weight of Natalie on the back of me, it helped the front get through it, whereas John's just dug in and he just kind of, well, you kind of spun round. I don't know how he did that. I guess the front dug in, the back spun round, something like that, and he just fell over. But actually the big bars, the cool thing about these bikes, I have the big bars at the front, so it kind of rested on that, and then it rested on one of the pannier boxes, which I'll show you in a moment. So it really just didn't do any damage. The foot peg kind of flipped up, and so it was all fine, so there's no scratches or anything, even though we have full insurance on it. In case Eagle Rider are watching, there's no damage, okay? Thank you for watching. Here's a video that we think you're going to enjoy. If you want to subscribe, please do hit subscribe, hit the bell button so you know when we upload more videos. We've got some cool stuff coming up, so watch out for that. If you'd like to come to Braziere, see some behind the scenes stuff, please hit the join button. There's a few different options you can use there. Thank you to everyone below for supporting the channel. We will see you next week, hopefully with John on both wheels.